In the lush, picturesque village of Kokrobite, nestled between the rolling hills and the vast Atlantic Ocean, two childhood friends, Akua and Kofi, grew up inseparable. From the moment they could walk, they spent their days exploring the village's winding paths, splashing in the clear streams, and chasing each other under the canopy of tall palm trees. Their laughter was a melody that the village had come to cherish. Akua, with her radiant smile and sparkling eyes, was the daughter of the village chief, a girl of royal lineage destined for greatness. Kofi, on the other hand, was the son of a humble farmer. Despite their different social standings, their bond was unshakable. As they grew older, their friendship blossomed into a tender love. By the time they were teenagers, it was clear to everyone in the village that Akua and Kofi were deeply connected. But tradition loomed like a dark cloud. The norms of Kokrobite dictated that a royal like Akua could only marry someone of equal standing. Kofi, with his kind heart and humble roots, was deemed unworthy in the eyes of the elders. Still, their hearts spoke a language that defied such restrictions. The whispers of their love reached the ears of the elders. "It cannot be," decreed the head elder. "The union of a royal and a commoner would bring dishonor to our traditions." Akua's parents, though they loved their daughter dearly, felt bound by duty. They gently urged Akua to let go of her feelings for Kofi, but her heart refused to obey. Under the starry skies, Akua and Kofi would meet in secret. They sat by the village's ancient baobab tree, sharing dreams of a future where love triumphed over tradition. "One day," Kofi whispered, his voice filled with determination, "I will find a way for us to be together, even if it means leaving Kokrobite." Akua's eyes brimmed with tears. She clung to him, silently praying for the strength to face the storm ahead. The pressure from the elders and Akua's family intensified. They warned Akua that continuing her relationship with Kofi would bring shame upon her lineage. Heartbroken but determined to prove himself worthy, Kofi made a bold decision. "I will leave Kokrobite," he told Akua during their final meeting under the baobab tree. "I will work tirelessly to become a man they cannot deny. When I return, no one will stand between us." Akua's heart shattered, but she knew Kofi's departure was their only hope. She pressed a small bead bracelet into his hand. "Keep this with you," she said, "so you never forget where your heart belongs." With tears streaming down his face, Kofi walked away from the only home he had ever known, leaving behind the girl who had stolen his heart. Life in Kokrobite became a battle for Akua. Her parents, eager to see her settled, introduced her to Masi, a wealthy trader who had recently arrived in the village. Masi was charming and generous, but his eyes held a darkness that made Akua uneasy. The elders were thrilled at the prospect of such an advantageous match, but Akua's heart remained with Kofi. Unbeknownst to the villagers, Masi's wealth came from sinister means. He dabbled in dark rituals, using innocent women to fuel his greed. While Akua resisted his advances, Masi's patience began to wear thin. He sought the help of a powerful sorcerer to cast a charm that would bend Akua's will to his. Meanwhile, Kofi faced unimaginable hardships. He traveled to the bustling city of Akua, where he toiled as a laborer. The work was grueling, and the city's pace was overwhelming for a boy from a quiet village. Yet, he persevered, driven by his love for Akua. He saved every CD he earned, learning new skills and building connections. Years passed, and Kofi's fortunes began to change. He started a small business that flourished, earning him respect and admiration. Though he had achieved much, His heart remained in Kokrobite, with the girl who had given him the strength to endure. Back in Kokrobite, Masi's charm began to take effect. Akua felt her resolve weakening, her dreams of Kofi fading into the shadows. She struggled to understand the hold Masi had over her. The villagers, oblivious to Masi's true nature, celebrated the impending union. Only Akua's closest friends noticed her despair, but they too were powerless against the will of the elders. On a quiet evening, years after his departure, a stranger arrived in Kokrobite. His confident stride and fine attire turned heads, but few recognized him as Kofi. Time and hardship had transformed him into a man of stature and poise. He quietly observed the village, learning of Akua's plight and Masi's dark deeds. Determined to save her, Kofi knew he had to act swiftly and carefully. Kofi devised a plan to expose Masi's true nature. With the help of a trusted elder who had always believed in their love, he gathered evidence of Masi's crimes. One fateful night, during a grand village gathering, Kofi confronted Masi, presenting his findings. The gathering was abuzz with laughter and music when Kofi stepped into the circle of light cast by the bonfire. Dressed in fine but modest clothes, his presence demanded attention. Akua's heart raced as she recognized him, though years had passed. Masi sneered, dismissing the newcomer. Kofi spoke with measured confidence, recounting the tale of his journey and offering proof of Masi's misdeeds, letters, charms, and testimonies from the sorcerer's former victims. The village fell silent. Masi denied the accusations, but the elders demanded an investigation. The exposure of Masi's crimes broke the charm over Akua. Her mind cleared, and memories of Kofi flooded back. She confronted Masi with uncharacteristic defiance, demanding answers. Enraged, Masi fled into the night, swearing vengeance on the village. Kofi and Akua's reunion was bittersweet. They embraced under the baobab tree, but the threat of Masi's return cast a shadow over their joy. The elders, shaken by their mistake, began to reconsider the rigid traditions that had allowed such evil to thrive. Chapter 4. The curse of Masi, now a fugitive, sought refuge with the sorcerer who had aided him. Together they concocted a malevolent curse to punish the village for his humiliation. The once thriving Kokrobite began to suffer. Crops withered, livestock fell ill, and the ocean's bounty dwindled. The villagers, desperate to break the curse, turned to Kofi and Akua. Their love, once seen as a threat to tradition, was now viewed as a source of hope and redemption. The village's spiritual elder revealed that to break the curse, Kofi and Akua must retrieve a sacred artifact hidden deep in the heart of the forest. This artifact, the heart of Ananse, symbolized unity and love. Accompanied by a group of trusted allies, including Akua's closest friend Ajoa and a skilled hunter named Ibo, Kofi and Akua ventured into the unknown. The journey tested their courage, resolve, and faith in one another. The group faced numerous challenges: labyrinthine paths, treacherous terrain, and mythical creatures guarding the artifact. Each trial required them to confront their fears and work together. Kofi's leadership and Akua's wisdom shone through, earning the respect of their companions. Deep within the forest, the group discovered the heart of Ananse, a radiant, jewel-like object suspended in a web of golden silk. To claim it, Kofi and Akua had to answer riddles posed by a spirit guardian. Their bond proved to be the key, as their answers reflected their shared love and understanding. With the artifact in hand, the group hurried back to Kokrobite, hopeful that the curse could finally be lifted. Masi and the sorcerer, anticipating their return, launched an attack on the village. Armed with dark magic, they sought to destroy Kokrobite once and for all. Kofi and Akua, with the artifact's power, stood as the village's last line of defense. A fierce battle ensued, blending physical combat and spiritual warfare. Kofi confronted Masi, while Akua used the heart of Ananse to counter the sorcerer's spells. Their combined strength and love overcame the darkness. With Masi defeated and the sorcerer's influence broken, the curse lifted. Kokrobite began to heal, its vibrancy slowly returning. The elders, humbled by the ordeal, sought forgiveness from Kofi and Akua. They acknowledged the flaws in their traditions and vowed to embrace change. Kofi and Akua's love story became a beacon of hope and inspiration. They were wed under the baobab tree, with the entire village in attendance. Their union marked the beginning of a new era, where love and character triumphed over rigid societal norms. As they stood hand in hand, gazing at the horizon, they knew their journey was far from over. Together, they vowed to build a future where every heart could find its rightful place.